Well, hello and welcome to this week's episode of On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. I'm your host, Chris Greene, Director of Network Expansion for Avoya Travel. We've got a great show lined up for you today, and we're excited as we're debuting an altered format starting this week. We've decided to sunset and say goodbye, at least for now, to our Eye on the Industry feature. It served us very well over these last 3 years, but after great feedback from you, our viewers, and internal discussions, we've decided that our time is better spent doing an even deeper dive with our weekly guests. Now, I still encourage you to keep up with the latest industry happenings and publications like Travel Weekly and Travel Pulse. And of course, we'll continue to flag important industry stories as the need arises. Today, we're excited to once again shine the spotlight on our amazing creative services team, as they truly are best in class and add so much amazing value to those in our network. Ryan Nicholson, graphic designer and video editor for Avoya Travel, will be our featured Meet the Team guest, and we're very excited to feature his role on our program today. We have exciting news about promotions, both on the veteran community front, as well as the travel agent education powered by Avoya front. We'll share that soon. We're also going to discuss the amazing resource that sets Avoya Travel and those in the Avoya network just miles apart from our competitors, and hope that that helps our network. It's how our network sells more, they earn more, they generate more in commissions, they hit all the benchmarks that small business ownership must hit in order to be, considered kind of a higher level agency, and they certainly do so more with Avoya Travel than they would with other host agencies. And we're going to wrap up with a quick wrap up of our social media and our contact information. So let's jump into this week's episode of On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. One of the big differentiators in our network, in my opinion, is the amazing marketing assets. Assets for your social media, for your email marketing campaigns, for cruise nights, anything you can think of marketing-wise, they probably have an asset to help you market that better. And that alone would just put us light years ahead of our competitors. But we go one step further. We make it possible to get all of those assets customized to your branding as an affiliate in our network. Our special guest today, Ryan Nicholson, is one of the creative masterminds that makes that and so much more happen. So please help me welcome Ryan Nicholson, graphic designer and video editor with the creative services team at Avoya Travel, as our featured guest this week for On Deck with Avoya. Ryan, great to have you on the program.
Hi, Chris. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Ryan, before we jump into the specific details, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up working with Avoya Travel.
Well, as you said, I'm Ryan. Nice to meet y'all. I actually ended up at Avoya completely by accident, total luck. I went to school for graphic design, initially focusing on corporate design, so meaning things like a brand identity and logo design. I hadn't really touched video editing too much. And so I'd been job hunting for forever, and I saw the post here for a video editor, but because it wasn't something I touched too much, I didn't apply. And eventually I just said, screw it, and applied anyway, and ended up getting the position. Very lucky to be here, very happy to be here. I've loved it ever since I've joined. I've been on for about 5 years now.
So growing up, did you have a passion for travel already kind of built in, or the fact that you fell into this field and here we are in the travel industry say, well, that's not so bad. I love travel anyway.
Definitely the second one. Not to say that I didn't love travel as a kid. I mean, who doesn't? But I really gained more of an appreciation for it after coming here, especially seeing, everything that goes into it behind the scenes, especially with something as complex as booking cruises and things like that. I just didn't have the opportunity to do that too much as a kid. And so I'm really thankful to be able to explore that a lot more now that I'm here. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's a great company and a great work culture. And we're really lucky because, we work with so many talented people. And so when you work with talented people, it seems to draw out the best from you yourself. Do you find that to be true, that because of other people stepping up their game, you feel this inspired part of yourself to step up as well?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not even just in our internal, the creative team, everyone at Avoya is constantly pushing it. it's really inspiring, you know, to see everyone constantly trying to like better what they've done before. And it definitely makes me want to make better work too.
So let's talk about your role, what Ryan does on kind of a day-to-day basis, and some of the functions that happen there at the creative services team.
So my role is graphic designer and video editor. So I'm split doing both static media and all of the video editing for the team. So our role in CS really is to assist every other department in their functions and pushing out their media. You know, other than our e-magazine, we in creative don't really have our own tasks. All of our work is everybody else's work. And so day-to-day functions really fluctuate depending who needs what that day. But for me, at least, it is pretty consistent to be doing video work just because I'm the only video editor on the team right now. So I'll be doing that almost every day on top of the regular media that we do. So I do a lot of social posts, a lot of email. I help with a lot of web pages and things like that. And then, of course, all the video. So all the video editing, I put clips together for our socials for Vimeo, as well as like highlight reels and things like that.
So when we would see that across the both those that are like consumers and reaching out to Avoya Travel, interested in connecting with one of our independent affiliates to talk about a trip, as well as like what I handle on my side, right, from network expansion and the marketing that our trade marketing team puts together, some of the crosses over both sides, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything we do really is just in service of all of our marketing efforts and strengthening the brand and pushing our awareness out, you know?
Absolutely. I can't wait to get into the e-magazine here in just a second, but before
Mhm.
we do that, in your opinion, what do you think some of the benefits that your work and the work at Creative Services has in making the Avoya network better? Because I love to brag about the fact that they can work with creative services and talented people like yourself to get their own branding on those amazing assets.
Mhm. Well, I am glad to hear that it is making it better. You know, our work aids in making all of the outreach from network louder in a way, making marketing efforts, you know, more eye-catching and drawing in viewership. Almost everything that you see that has a kind of visual element to it has made its way through creative first before being posted. So we'll take requests with all of the raw information that's needed for something, and then we'll match it with relevant imagery and design it to make it more enticing and like easily digestible to look at. And it is definitely a really nice plus that we have as, you know, a company, that the IAs can come to us and we can take your branding, your logo, all of your information and match it to custom social posts or flyers and emails, things like that.
I mean, I can't guarantee that we're the only host agency out there that's
Mhm.
providing that level, but I'm pretty darn sure I can say with great certainty that you're not going to be able to find the quality of work that comes out of our creative services team at the benefit of somebody in our network like they do by being part of the Avoya network. So congratulations for the fantastic work that you and the team are doing there.
Thank you.
Do you, I wanted to add, this is just kind of came to my mind. When you're watching or thumbing through something and you see the creative efforts of other companies, is it hard not to judge that? Like, do you just look at everything out there with a different eye and go, man, if I had a chance to do that, that would have looked so much sharper, or I would have used a different, I don't even know what would make one better than the other, but I know you do.
Absolutely. It is unfortunately some part of my brain that I just can't turn off now. Any single marketing effort from any company ever, I'm just like, oh, I really appreciate what they did here. Or I'm like, okay, maybe we could have like scaled that down, done something a little bit different here. Um, yeah, it is very funny you mentioned that. It is not something that I can stop doing no matter how hard I try. as much as I'm sure my friends and family wish I would stop pointing it out.
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. One thing for you to think it, it's another thing to share it, right? That's so funny. So let's talk about the amazing e-magazine. It's put out by Avoya Travel Quarterly. The first time that we had Margot Jones from the creative services team, the leader of that team, on as a guest, and she showed off some of what was happening there. I was just completely blown away. Tell me about how you fit in and your role fits into that magazine, and just your thoughts on, wow, what an amazing thing that's coming out of creative and out of Avoya Travel and marketing all together.
Yeah. So the eMag is actually not something that I have a huge hand in. And massive props to the rest of the team that is really focusing on that, Margot, Joe, and Taylor. I help near the end of things, so I'll turn, once it's been finished and published, I'll make a social reel promoting it, and I'll make some videos on it. But other than that, I'll help check things like links and images, make sure things are working properly. But the brunt of the actual design work is done by the rest of the team. But I am absolutely in love with it. It is one of my favorite things that we put out. It is a gorgeous piece of work. And Margot and them are really stepping it up with every new issue. It's only getting better every time.
Well, first off, I commend you for giving the prompts to your team like that, because that really says a lot about you and how tight a team that you guys are. We love the eMag as well. In fact, Annabella is going to drop a link in both our Facebook comments and in our YouTube comments, so that there's an easy link for people to check out the latest one. I mean, I love travel. I've been fortunate enough to go to a lot of places. Obviously, I'm proud of being part of Avoya Travel, but I just find it something fascinating to thumb through. Like,
Oh yeah.
Something that just it brings me joy. Forget all of those, other reasons that I'm connected to it. It's just amazing stuff there. So
No, yeah, it's really inspiring to just look through. And I mean, all of the imagery they have. And I really love the featured photographer section that we always include. I love getting to really hone in on a specific person and see how they see the world. I think it's really cool.
absolutely. Ryan Nicholson, graphic designer and video editor for Avoya Travel, is our featured Meet the Team guest this week. Ryan, how do you think artificial intelligence is going to impact a role like yours? And is that something that you think is exciting? Is it beneficial? Does it scare the bejesus out of you? I mean,
Oh, goodness. AI is a very tricky question to tackle right now, and especially for those in the creative community. As a whole, it's not something that I am a little scared of it. I am a little scared. It has some really good uses, I think. I think that it is a wonderful aid for copywriting, especially, and definitely for those that, don't necessarily know how to do that or don't do it very often. But in my opinion, it's not something that should really be used on its own. I think that it is a great base point for you to get a rough outline, an idea for something, and then be able to tweak that, edit it, and like put your own personal kind of spin on it. And so you can see how that gets a little difficult then when you're using the tool for art specifically, where that's not something that is as easily editable for most people. As well as there are certain questions that come into play about whether work that AI is generating off of is stolen or not. So there's a lot of questions that we still don't really have answers to yet. I try to keep a pretty good amount of skepticism about it. I don't want to condemn it outright, but I'm not going to trust it blindly, I think that its popularity is undeniable. I mean, everyone's using it right now. I just think that it is important to keep in mind that it's a great aid, not a replacement.
I think that was well said. Yeah, no, I think that matches what a lot of people feel about it. I mean, there's no doubt the genie's out of the bottle and it's not going back in, but I think it's also dependent upon all of us in a wider community to make sure that we shape the rules before it has a chance to shape the rules for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what about when you get a chance to get away from the office, Ryan? What do you like to do for fun?
I like to do a ton of stuff. I'm a pretty big nerd, so I really like gaming and reading and things like that. I like to keep up with all the new releases for like movies and TV and stuff. Um, but I also really love performing. There was a very large portion of my life back when I was in, high school, college, where I was performing almost daily, every show that they could. And I'd stopped for a little while, but I was able to get back into it recently. And I actually sing with the local Gaiman's Chorus here in San Diego, and it's been so fun. I love the community so much.
That's neat. That's awesome. That you when you get away from a passion and then that life kind of brings you full circle and you
Yeah,
find your way back. That's kind of then it tells you internally just how much it really meant to you. A
exactly.
couple more before we wrap up today, but I did want to give you an opportunity to share anything that you think is important that I just didn't think to ask or we didn't cover about what you guys do in the creative services team and what you do with your role that really helps make Avoya Travel even stronger.
I mean, honestly, I can't really think of anything uncovered. I think you did a great job hitting all those points. But I would just like to say how proud of the team I am and all the work we put out. Um, every social post, every email, every web page is something that we've had a hand in creating. And it makes me really proud to see the amount of quality work that we get to put out so consistently to help the rest of the network and everyone. Everything that we do is in support of strengthening and furthering the Avoya brand and helping everyone that works with us.
I know I'm involved in a lot of projects that ultimately get touched by the creative services team. All of my coworkers, so many of the other managers and director level people are the same way. While we all always like chomping at the bit to get it back from you guys, we all know it's also worth the wait. So, kudos to you guys on the amazing work that you do. We always wrap up our show, Ryan, with the same question to our guests. So we'll hit you with the same question that we've hit like the last 125 guests with. And that's simply knowing what you know, the position that you're in, your knowledge of Avoya Travel, and then just life in general. Are you excited about the future of leisure travel?
I am sure I'm about to give the same answer that the rest of all of the interviewees have given. I am. After everything that we've gone through worldwide these past years, I think that demand for travel is huge. And people are realizing how important it is to go beyond your doorstep and just experience something new.
Well said. Ryan Nicholson, everybody, graphic designer and video editor with Creative Services here for Avoya Travel. Ryan, thanks again for your time and thanks for that great conversation.
Thank you so much for having me, Chris.
Absolutely. Next week, one of my favorite segments, a Meet the Network segment with Nancy Ott. Nancy's the owner of Tinker Travel LLC, an independent agency in the Avoya network. Nancy's an amazing affiliate. We're going to talk about the first ever $1 million showcase that recently took place up in Seattle, Washington. We're also going to feature her story, maybe even solicit some amazing advice from an amazing agent. So we can't wait for next week. Nancy Ott, again from Tinker Travel LLC, an independent agency here in the Avoya network, our special guest for On Deck with Avoya. Let's talk about promotions really quick. First off, as no big surprise, we have extended out again our military discount. So again, throughout the month of October, we continue to offer the $100 off the affiliation fee for veterans, their spouses, both active duty and retired. Information available at avoyanetwork.com. My team is certainly happy to help get you qualified for that promotion. I say it all the time, almost every week, about how those in the military end up making great travel advisors and travel agents. They're well-traveled, they're disciplined, they're dedicated. It's a really great fit. Again, avoyanetwork.com will get you started on that path to becoming an affiliate in the Avoya network. And speaking of promotions, I think this is amazing. It started off as a flash sale, and that flash kind of went kaboom. And right now, we've extended it again. That travel agent education powered by Avoya. You see it on the screen there at the amazing price point of $399. You're saving more than 50% off the list price. It's about 35 hours of online dedicated lessons, both in written and audio formats. It wraps up with the travel agent education completion exam. You get still the memberships in CLIA and in ASTA, and you still get the discount to affiliate with the Avoya network on the back half. So why wouldn't you do that? Take advantage of it before this special disappears. Again, avoyanetwork.com, travel agent education powered by Avoya. That is a win-win. If you're looking to go into 2024 and have a chance at a really robust business, hit the ground running, I'm telling you, don't miss out on this opportunity at that amazing price point. Because once you're in the network, you can access all of the best-in-class resources that we're so proud to talk about. From those in our creative services team, our marketing team, support, the technology, the community that's there, the early success program, the brand sales program. I mean, the people that we feature every single week, the reason we feature them is because the talent pool at Avoya Travel is deep, 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 and we're very proud of all of our coworkers. So again, reach out to avoyanetwork.com, and so you can get access to all of these amazing resources and help build a really amazing business in the travel industry. Hey, give us a like, give us a follow. Don't miss out on anything. Our social media, you can always follow us at Avoya Travel Network on social media. We're live on Facebook every Thursday. We upload to YouTube. We're on LinkedIn. We've got the new Instagram page going, so very exciting stuff there. So again, give us a follow there at Avoya Travel Network on social media. And of course, you can always get information. I say it every week, avoyanetwork.com, avoyanetwork.com. Of course, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, chris.greene@avoyatravel.com. Let's connect. Let's get you connected with one of the affiliation specialists on my team for an amazing conversation. Ask your questions, hear our story, see if it's a great fit. 2023 has been amazing. I can't believe it's already the fourth quarter. That means 2024 is just on our heels. And that's when wave season happens, and you don't want to miss out on that. Hey, a big thank you again to Ryan Nicholson, our guest this week, to Annabella for producing our show from our trade marketing team, to you for being a part of On Deck with Avoya on a weekly basis. We'll be back next Thursday with Nancy Ott. Until then, take care, my friend.